of years, running with just a small amount of brothers. And I think it was like 1991 when we met, 1990? 1990. Okay, 1990, I was blessed to be in the presence of Brother True Islam and Brother Bernard Kushman, who's the real Muhammad's son, and another brother, a powerful brother who's no longer with us today, named Brother Jackie, and became one of our lieutenants, and number 15, he's from Chicago. And we would sit down at the lunch table, and we would converse, and sometimes go back and forth in building. And being that I was a 5%, you know, I would build with the FOI brothers. And I remember that's when I first met True Islam. I can't remember exactly how it went down, but I know we was asking questions, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I came into the knowledge of self. And then, I came into the Nation of Islam. I always wanted to come into the Nation of Islam as FOI from watching Brother Minister Kareem Muhammad and the brothers in Plainfield. And just real strong black men, you know what I mean? That kind of helped raise me along with the 5% Nation. Once I graduated from college, that is when I came into the mosque after this brother. You know what I mean? Because he was going, he went in first. Then in a sense, I want to kind of say it like this, he fishing me in or pressing me in, you know, to join the mosque. You know what I mean? And I joined it, and I was able to recite my actual facts of student enrollment under Brother Jackie. You know what I'm saying? So I give a lot of praise to that brother that's no longer here with us. And that's how I came into the knowledge of the 5% Nation, then to the Nation of Islam as a registered FOI.
I first encountered the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan when I was a junior in high school. I had, at the same time, become a bit of atheist because I also encountered at the same time the Afrocentric anti-religious message. And so I bought into the Afrocentric anti-religious message, but the appeal of the minister was undeniable. But what I did was I would separate his political and social message from the religious. I would just close my ears to the religion at the time. But I loved the minister. I went to Atlanta and met Brother Bernard Kushman, Brother Jabril's son. And we had a conversation that impacted the course of my life thereafter. I was confident in my atheism. At the time, I was very confident in my atheism. But brother, in the conversation with Brother Bernard, he quoted something the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that just penetrated deep in my intellect. He quoted the minister as having said, you can take a black baby and put him on an island by himself and just leave him alone. He or she will grow up believing in God because he will look at the universe and creation and know instinctively that it has to be a creator. And at the time, I was taking a physics course, and we just happened to be learning about the laws of the universe and how, for example, comets, seemingly random occurrences, actually submit to mathematical law, and which suggests a level of order within chaos that is just hard to deny. So that in congruence with the simple yet profound logic of the minister, it just seized my thinking, and I threw away my atheism and I began to study. I said, I was confident in my atheism, and now I'm rocked. So I'm just going to throw it all out and study and see where it leads. And right after that, I go into the cafeteria. And I see Brother Bernard, whom I knew I was friends with. This other brother happened to be Wakeel. They were arguing over who God was. Brother Bernard was arguing Master Prophet Muhammad is God. Young 5% of Wakeel was arguing that the black man is God. And at that time, neither one of them had the understanding that they were both right, and I'm sitting back listening to this. Oh, that's interesting. And something about that. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks. So as I studied, this brother would give me, expose to me aspects of the teaching. Because when I listened to the minister previously, I would close my ears to the religious discourse. But this brother introduced me to aspects of the teaching of supreme wisdom, and it was cohering with what I was studying. I just fell in love, passionately in love with the teaching. And the rest was history. He introduced me to the body of supreme wisdom, and I fell in love with it. And he was a 5%er at the time. I became his student as a young 5%er. The development, it was inevitable that I was going to be in the mosque trying to help the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan take this teaching to every nook and cranny. So once I fell in love with the teaching under Brother's exposure to the teaching, but after the minister impregnated me with the very conception, the logic of God. That's why I was surprised. The logic of the reality of God. I didn't have the details, but he impregnated me with the logic of the reality of God. And my life since then has been this teaching of the reality of God as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I mean, it went so deep inside of me. That's been my life since then. And because I came into Islam through the study, I always loved the minister. Always loved the nation. I experienced the Nation of Islam Saviors Day as a junior as well in high school, junior in high school. I was profoundly impacted by the community of Islam. But, you know, me and my atheism, I was able to admire from a distance and feel no difficulty about it. But the teaching just grabbed me and consumed me since then, since 1990. And my life has been consumed with the exploration and vindication of the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. In terms of the negotiation or the transition, or apparent transition from 5% to Nation of Islam, of course we know there's no such transition. We know who the 5% of this poor part of the planet Earth. We know also Muslim and Muslim sons. We never stopped being 5%ers. We never were not Muslim. So yeah, it was just when we joined the mosque, we joined the military training of men who belong to Islam in North America.
Thank you, brother.
Go ahead.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes, sir.